Versace and Cunanan had met previously. Versace and Cunanan had met previously. Cunanan committed 4 brutal murders before driving to Miami. Cunanan's killing spree didn't follow guidelines that have been created to attempt to rationalize how serial killers develop. There are no reports of him displaying the controversial McDonald triad, and it doesn't look like he eased his way into his lifestyle or had any particular ties to his victims. He just started killing people. After his first 2 kills, Jeffrey Trail and David Madsen, respectively, Cunanan drove to Chicago, where he ran into Lee Miglin, a 75-year-old real estate maven. No one knows if Cunanan or Miglin hooked up, or if Miglin was simply in Cunanan's way. But the Miglin family are thorough in their defense of the patriarchy's sexuality. Regardless of what occurred between the 2 men, Miglin's body was found in his garage wrapped in plastic and brown paper tape. Cunanan had stabbed Miglin in the chest with garden shears, broken the elderly man's ribs, then cut his throat with a bone saw. The murder, Cunanan left plenty of evidence for the police. He even shaved and left his trimmed hairs in the sink. Cunanan began his murder spree by killing his ex-lover. Prior to killing Versace, Cunanan had been on a countrywide killing spree. In doing so, he'd become a known entity to the FBI as a serial killer who preyed on gay men and stole their cars after he finished his attacks. Between April 27 and May 9, 1997, Cunanan murdered 4 men with nothing in common other than the fact that they had the bad luck of coming in contact with the killer. Cunanan's first victim, Jeffrey Trail, was selling propane in Minneapolis when Cunanan invited him to Cunanan's alleged former lover David Madsen's apartment. Aside from neighbors claiming to hear an argument, no one knows what happened that night. Trail's body was later discovered rolled up in a carpet in Madsen's closet. He'd been bludgeoned to death. A few days later, fishermen found Madsen's body on the shore of a lake 50 miles from Minneapolis with 2 bullet holes in his head. It's still unclear as to whether Madsen helped Cunanan kill Trail or if the former lover spent the last few days of his life in captivity waiting for death. Police thought Versace's death may have been a mob hit. Immediately after Gianni Versace was gunned down at his own front door, a passerby, Martin Weinstein, arrived at the scene, having heard the shots. He described the clinical nature of the killing as execution style. Next to Versace's body was a dead dove. Police believed that the bird was the sign of a mafia hit, but shortly afterwards, they dismissed that theory as a far reach and chased their leads down to Andrew Cunanan. Years after the fact, 2 mobsters, Giuseppe Di Bella and Filippo Barreca. According to Di Bella and Barreca, Versace was helping launder money for the mob, and that's how he ended up dead at his front door. The morning he was killed, Versace did something he never did: left the house to buy his own newspaper. Gianni Versace never went to get his own paper. It just wasn't something that he did. Usually, he sent his assistant out for the paper, but on the morning of July 15, 1997, he decided to run the errand himself. When Versace returned home with papers in hand, he arrived at the same time as Andrew Cunanan. As soon as Versace put his key in the lock, he was shot once in the face and once in his neck at point-blank range. Versace died in a pool of his own blood on the steps of his villa. His partner of 15 years, Antonio D'Amico, was drinking coffee on the patio nearby when he heard the gunshots. He and the butler went to investigate and found a horrific scene. I saw Gianni lying on the steps with blood around him. At that point, everything went dark. I was pulled away. I didn't see any more, he said.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care. Bye.